Whoa, my peoples, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Man, salute to everybody who's tuning in. Toy Mafia, 310 Man Ruth, Al Booger in the building on Lace. My peoples, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Y'all know how it is, man. We're gonna do it nice and early. We talking boxing. Um, the main topic of conversation, or the first thing we're going to talk about this morning, is Tank Davis. Um, gonna tell you something, my people. I wish this wasn't something that we were talking about, to be honest. But it's boxing. It's one of the most famous people in the sport of boxing involved in this situation. So we're gonna address it, but then we're gonna move on and we're gonna be talking about some fights coming up and some situations. We're gonna talk about, of course, Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson. Is that fight gonna happen? We're gonna talk about Jake Paul sparring with Shakur. So we got other topics of conversation, but this is something that needs to be addressed. Jason Williams, salute my brother on Lace. Happy Halloween to chat. Salute my G. So check this out, my peoples. So Tank Davis is dealing with a legal situation. Once again, it is involving a woman. Um, this is super unfortunate. I seen somebody on social media celebrating it, like, yeah, look what he did again. That he a goofy. And it's like, bro, why would you celebrate that? Why would you want to see a man's downfall? That's crazy. So I don't know. I guess because I criticize, the opponent that Tank might pick. Some people might think that I'm a Tank hater still, or that I'm gonna be celebrating. You don't celebrate another man's downfall, my peoples. You don't do that. So I'm gonna tell you the reality of what it is when it comes to Tank Davis. We not talking about boxing, my peoples. We not talking about his opponents. I could criticize him when it comes to that and do memes and all that and trash talking. But this is a real life situation. Okay? It's real life. You don't celebrate this. And I'm gonna tell you what's really going on, my peoples. Tank Davis on Lace. Ooh, you hit the nail in the coffin, my boy. You know what you're talking about on Lace. Tank Davis, he needs help. He needs therapy. That's what he actually needs, my people. Because if you think about it, he's been involved in these situations too many times. And you know what happens when somebody is always landing in those situations? And we don't need to get into details, right? They get to the point that they feel comfortable. They feel like it's not a big deal. I just got to do what I got to do, kind of thing. And eventually, you those people run into a young lady who's not gonna want money, who's not gonna want their 15 minutes of fame, who's gonna follow the whole process to put you in jail. And there ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do. There's gonna be a police report, there's gonna be pictures, there's gonna be all that. So, it don't matter how great of a lawyer you got, how many, that you deny it publicly, you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna end up in jail, bro. So before Tank Davis end up in jail, he just gotta get help. He gotta go to therapy, gotta, work on that, work on himself. So if that's gonna be something that's gonna help him in his personal life, like, he's gonna make a lot of money right now, leaving boxing and just focusing on changing, because he's mentioned that before, right? He's talked about wanting to change, wanting to, what. Listen, I'm all for it. But Tank Davis, my people, he really need help, because you don't keep landing in these situations and come out clean. And I'm going to tell you right now, my peoples, at my age, I'm 47 years old. And I've seen, most of us know somebody in real life that lands in those situations a lot. Whether they get locked up or not. But most of us know somebody like that. And usually, that person end up getting locked up. You know, that person landed in that situation with that chick, got away with it, landed in that situation with that chick. They took him in, but she didn't press charges. They let him out the next day. And it just keeps happening until that one chick that says, nah, I don't want nothing. Don't give me nothing. That I'm going to court. I'm going to testify. I'm going to go follow this whole process. And then they end up in jail. On Lace, most of the time it's directly at home, starts with our parents. That's facts. That's fact. Look, most men that end up in those situations grew up getting beat up. Grew up. I guarantee you, if you ask Tank, he's going to tell you when he was a little kid, maybe parents or somebody in the family used to whoop his ass like for doing little goofy shit. That's facts. Ramirez, Jay Smith, brother, remember I said Tank needing help for a reason. And you thought I was just saying it to change the fact that Tank ducked Lamont. Now you see, Jay Smith, Tank really going through it. But when you say that he's really going through it, my God, we cannot give him a pass. We cannot use he's going through it to give him a pass, because in real life, we all going through something. We all go through something. And what he's going through is self-inflicted. That is self-inflicted. You can't give a pass. Bro, that's like somebody getting drunk and driving a car and crashing and killing somebody, and you saying no because he was drunk. You know, he got a real good excuse for doing that. It doesn't matter. You made the decision to get drunk and get behind the wheel. So we have to hold you accountable. You have to hold people accountable. And look, Ramirez, you say, or not wanting to fight Shakur, you have to understand something. Think about this, Ramirez. Tank Davis is 30 years old, bro. 30. What happened at 22, 23, 24? All these years, he been going through something that he couldn't fight Shakur. So that's cap, bro. That's cap. And these are situations that we're going to keep seeing Tank. Unfortunately, if he don't get help, the help that he needs, this is not the last time. And I'm going to tell you, right now, with the allegations, Tank is lucky. He's lucky. You know why? Because it's a civil suit. This young lady's just trying to get money. It's a civil suit. He's going to go to court, and if found liable, he's going to have to pay a sum of money. Could be a nice chunk of money, but this legal hurdle doesn't put him in jeopardy of going to jail, right? He's not going to land in prison. It's not going to affect him being able to fight or nothing like that. But this same exact situation can land him in jail. If you've seen what this latest young lady is alleging, he could go to jail. But because it's a civil matter, he won't. He's just going to have to pay a certain amount of money if he's found liable. Ramirez, that's what's worse, brother. It's self-inflicted. That's why you know mentally he's not there speaking on someone fighting someone else. You don't know where he's at mentally. He's been fighting other people, going through all of that, bro. That doesn't change what you can do inside the ring. That's the problem, Ramirez. You want to give somebody a pass for what they're going, and you don't understand that fighters fight every day going through shit, bro. Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson right after his mother died, Ramirez. What kind of mental state you think Buster Douglas was when his mother died before that fight? You think Buster Douglas wasn't in a worse mental state when his mother died that what Tank is when he put hands on a girl? So again, Ramirez, you can't use somebody's mental state to say, no, because of his mental state, he just can't fight. You have no idea, bro, how many people done won titles right after a close family member died, right after their wife cheated on them, right after all type of stuff, bro, is going on in people's life. There ain't no excuse. Oh, he can't fight because he's going through stuff. That's a weak excuse, bro. But as far as him needing therapy, needing help, yes, he does. That doesn't mean that he can't fight. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. That's like when people go through, let me give you an example. People who are schizophrenic, people who are bipolar, right? They're all expected to follow the same exact laws and rules as me and you. And they got a mental health illness. They still got to work just like me and you. They still got to do their daily duties, pay their bills. They got to do everything like me and you, bro. People with mental health illnesses, they can't have no excuses. Imagine if somebody could say, well, you know, I got mental health, so I need people to just give me money, take care of me, pay my bills. And it don't work that way. It just doesn't, Ramirez. Life doesn't work that way. Everybody got problems. That's the reality. On Lace, the lawsuit accuses him of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. So, basically, for whatever reason, maybe because Tank got money, maybe because, but this young lady don't want to put him in jail. He don't want to put him in jail because with those allegations, you're going to jail and you're going to sit there for a couple of years. For a couple of years. So they went the civil route. All she's going to do is get money. But what's going to happen when that chick shows up that doesn't want money, that doesn't want anything? So before Tank lands in that situation, he got to get help. He, go to therapy and work on it. Work on actually changing. Because this situation, when you see it happening, it's almost like Tank land in one of these every year. When's the last time he was in a situation wasn't even that long ago. Months. So if you landing always in a situation involving women, it's only a matter of time before you land on the right one that's going to take action. And you're going to be in jail. Hit that like. We cooking early today. West Dustin. Salute, my brother. Strap Season Boxing, civil case. You do know that, right? Well, I guess you just tuned in. I said it was a civil case like 50 times already. And that he's not facing any jail time. So right now he's good. Why? Right now he's good. Strap Season, why would you say put his hands on somebody? You weird. Strap Season Boxing, did you not see what the civil suit is about? Kidnapping, battery. You do know that battery is putting your hands on somebody. You know that Tank has been arrested and has been in situations. Oh, like, what are you talking about, Strap Season? You need a 24-hour break. You need a 24-hour break. Come back tomorrow. Your energy's weird. On Lace. As a matter of fact, hold on. Look, I was gonna give you a 24-hour break, but you invited to the block party. Go to the block party with your weird energy. On Lace. At least Tank has the money to seek the best help out there. Imagine your coworker that lives check to check, mental health issues. See, that's tough. That's tough. The problem is that this is a subject that we can't even talk about as men. If you think about it, if you're a man and you're struggling mentally for whatever the reason may be, you can't even talk about it because you're a man. So when it comes to that field of mental health, it's like we're robots, and we're not supposed to have feelings, and we're not supposed to struggle mentally. So what happens? Usually we keep it quiet, and some end up exploding. Superman, you need a 24-hour break. As a matter of fact, you invited to the block party. That's it. Let them go have a good time over there. Jason Williams. Bam, salute my brother. That's how, yo, one of these days, I'm going to do a compilation of when I send people on their merry way. I'm going to do a compilation video of that. Because I think I've become, and I don't know, maybe I should not enjoy it as much. I'm going to try not to enjoy it. Because those be the people that report the channel down the line. But again, my peoples, you know, those who thought that I was going to be celebrating Tank Davis, you know, being in this situation, you got to twist it, man. At the end of the day, you don't celebrate these situations for nobody. You're not supposed to be happy that he's dealing with this situation. You're supposed to hope or wish that he could change, that he could see. Because you know what? I don't want to see Tank Davis be that guy who keeps doing it until he get locked up, spend years in jail, other people enjoying his fortune, then he come out wilding. Like, nah. Tank Davis has the talent, has the wealth, is going to get the type of money to get the best help money can buy. He just got to be committed. That's it. He just got to be committed to it. But if Tank Davis wants, so he could, you know, actually go to professionals, follow a process. I don't know how it be, the therapy, how it works. I don't know. But if he follows that process, he'll never be involved in these situations again. Ever. Ever. He just got to do it. Jason Williams, I come across a lot of guys with mental health issues. They need help, but have no money to get the help they need. And we're left to deal with them in society. That's the reality. But let me tell you something. If you don't have money, right, but at least you can acknowledge that you need help. There's things that you can still do. You know why, Jason Williams? Because one of the most important things that someone who needs help needs to do that doesn't involve a professional is talk about it. That's it. Whatever a guy is struggling, a man is struggling with, what he really needs to do is talk about it. It could be to your moms. It could be to a stranger. It could be to anybody. Talk. But as men, because we're not supposed to have feelings. We're robots. Guess what? We internalize it. Right? So if you're going through something that's affecting you mentally, you're supposed to be tough. We're men. That ain't nothing. But even though you internalize it and try to ignore it, but that's working on you. That's affecting you. And eventually, there's people who snap. On Lace, Smith, do you think Tank will seek out the help? I mean, maybe, because remember, when he spoke about retirement, he said, look, the boxing, you know, I want to change and this aggression that I have. So he spoke about it. And the way he spoke about it, it sounds like he acknowledged that he need help. So I think it's possible that he's going to get this money right now and get that and go after that help that he needs. And that's what I'm hoping for. You know, for the people that wanted to see me bashing Tank and saying, yeah, he's going down, yeah. Nah, bro. Nah. I'm sorry. If that's what you was expecting, I'm sorry, my people. That's not what you're going to get from me. You're never going to see me celebrating, you know, somebody who's doing great in life and has an issue that he keeps being affected by, or something that he keeps doing to himself and to others. I'm not gonna celebrate that. I want this dude to get help. I want this dude to be able to change and enjoy his life, enjoy his wealth, enjoy his money, and be happy. God damn. You don't want to see, you should never want to see anybody's downfall, my people. Unless they a child predator or they doing something that you frown upon, then that's different. Child predators, yeah, they deserve everything that they get. I could tell you that right now. But Tank Davis, man, he just needs to change. And he can. He just need help. Andre Pinat, do you think Fabio Wardley has a chance against Alexander Usyk? Ooh. Mr. Fabio Wardley. So look, man. Fabio Wardley is a fighter who was very much disrespected leading up to his fight with Joseph Parker. Super disrespected. And why I say he was super disrespected? Because, bro, how is it that people were saying that this guy can't box? This guy can't do anything but hit hard. According to a lot of people, that's all that Fabio Wardley can do. Hit hard. He can't box. But I promise you, most of the people say he can't box never even watched the Fabio Wardley fight, bro. They watched some highlights. They watched the fight with this dude that hurt him, Hooney. He won that fight, but this dude kind of had him for a bit. And they judge him by that. But Fabio Wardley can box. And he got power. That stiff, quick jab, the footwork, the angles. He got a lot in his bag of tools. Can he beat Usyk? Look, honestly, I don't see nobody beating Usyk. That's me keeping it real with you. I think he gives him a great fight, possibly his toughest fight. I just can't see nobody beating Usyk. That's just there's a few fighters I don't see nobody beating. Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk. Ain't nobody beating those guys. It's just that simple, my peoples. Nobody's beating those guys. Unless they do the ones that are in the lower weight classes. Usyk cannot move up, right? Unless these other guys move up like too many weight classes, they fight somebody that's too big. Anybody could get beat like that. But in and around their division, ain't nobody beating those guys, bro. Jason Williams, Tank won't be able to retire if all his money keeps going to legal fees. You know, that can affect his money, but legal fees for these type of cases are not gonna drain, you know, the millions of dollars that he got. So he's gonna spend a lot of money in legal fees. This case right now, this civil suit can cost him, you know, $1 million. Easy. But if you're about to make 50 million with Jake Paul, that million is nothing for you. You're gonna be all right. On Lace, Smith, do you think he battles with depression? I'm about to tell you some real controversial shit. Everybody in here, I'm about to say some real controversial shit. If you want to screenshot this, but it's gonna be controversial, you might want to record this. That's all I'm going to say. Dari Panat, I would still like to see Terrence Crawford versus Jaron Ennis. I know you would like to see it, but you won't, bro. We all would like to see it. But if you accept that you won't, you won't have that sense of disappointment. I already accepted it. That's it. I'm like, that shit is not going to happen. No way. So, what is the point, right? So, somebody asked me, Zell asked if, oh no, wait. Zell, no excuse about depression or any of that BS. So Zell, I'm with you on that. And my stance is, we all go through shit in life. I don't know why people act like it's only athletes that go through stuff. It's not only athletes. We all go through shit in life. And when we going through whatever it is we going through, we still gotta go to work every day. We still gotta pay the same bills. We still gotta go through life. So nobody wanna hear, oh, this fight is going through this and this fight is going through that. But I'm gonna tell you so. Oh, Jason Williams want me to get to the controversial thought about Tank. I'm gonna get to it. Start recording. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, as a 47-year-old man, I grew up in an era where being homosexual was frowned upon. And because of that, during that era, there was a lot of homosexual men who married women, had kids and everything, because that's what society told them that they had to do. You know, an era where parents was like, yo, if my son ever come out gay or my daughter, I'm disowning their ass. They not in this family no more. And there's still cultures where they feel that way. And to give you a story, I know somebody who they got married and this dude had 3 kids with them. And 15 years into the marriage, dude left with another man, and it was a wrap. So all I'm saying is, remember when Floyd said Tank got sugar in his tank? And Tank said, I don't got no sugar in my tank. But all I'm saying, remember I told you that story about this chick, married this dude, had 3 kids? And I know a few situations like that. Homosexual men who marry women to keep that cover always beat their ass. Always beat their ass. Before they come out the closet and that's it, they just gay, they almost always end up baiting them chicks. Because they don't really want to be with you. They want to be over there, but I got to fake this for society, so I'm going to be with you. That's just not what I want. So, I'm not telling you guys that Tank Davis is in the closet, but of course it's controversial because I'm suggesting, could it be? Could it be that he got sugar in his tank, like Floyd Mayweather once said? I don't know. So that's definitely a controversial, point of view of possibilities. Again, I'm not saying that Tank Davis is homosexual. I'm just saying, he keeps being involved in these situations, and Floyd Mayweather said that he has sugar in his tank. Why did Floyd Mayweather say that? I don't know. But normally, we men don't go around accusing other men of being that when we know they not that. And Floyd Mayweather has known Tank since Tank was a kid, forever. So there you have it, my people. Al Booger, that's definitely controversial. I told you. Jason Williams, I see what you're saying. Living a lie wears on you mentally. Badly, bro. Badly. Because I'm telling you, at 47, that's why I realized as you get older, you start seeing more things and having more experiences. And I've seen this a lot. Dudes that was in the closet, got married, beat they chick up all the time. And then when they divorced, they went and got with a dude. And that's it. They gay. So it's like, damn. The couple that I told you that got married and then he left her for a man, yo, when that woman found him with the dude that he was with, and she went after the dude, jealous of her about what was happening with her husband, yo, this dude almost killed his own wife over his man, his boyfriend. He was ready to you know what. So mentally, if you're in the closet and you're dating women, mentally that's gonna wear on you. badly. Badly. Because you're not doing. Oh, and let me just point out what made me, bring that controversial statement. All them little dances, man, that Tank be doing with the little shaking the hips. Remember Tank? I don't know, babe. I don't know about all that, my peoples. And the little smile with the guys' faces, and he's done little things, man, that honestly made me wonder. Juan Ocasio, you might be onto something. Jason Williams, that's not controversial. It's plausible. I mean, I say it's controversial because you know that Tank is a fighter who people see as a man's man, as a tough guy, and generally in society, you tend to not see someone like that as could even possibly be, of that sexual orientation. And I tell you what, if it turned out that Tank was of that sexual orientation, that wouldn't change anything for me. He's still gonna be somebody who became a world champion. He's still gonna be, one of the most famous fighters in the world. And I'ma still be knocking him on him for not fighting the people that I feel like he should be fighting. I'ma still get on him the same way. But I don't know, my peoples. I just put it out there the way that, I think it may be or it could be. Not necessarily, like I told you. But there's a lot of little things, Floyd mentioning the sugar in the tank, the little Tank dancing moves with the shaking and slapping his hips, the him constantly landing in these situations with women. All of those little things, when I combine them, it makes me wonder. That's why, and by the way, if you are in the closet and obviously hiding it for years, that will cause mental damage. And it will cause you to lash out. 100%. Now, is this the reason Tank is going through it? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people will turn on him. But yeah, a lot of new people will probably support him. I mean, I think there won't be that many that turn on him, to be honest. I think there will be those that turn on him. But I think that the overwhelming majority of his fan base is gonna ride it out with him, and then he's gonna gain new fans. If Tank Davis was to come out and express support, it's a wrap. He's shooting to superstardom, to another stratosphere. He do some shit like that. My peoples, check this out. Today is my son's birthday. Turns 4 years old today. So I'm going to step away for a second because he just woke up right now. I'm going to go sing happy birthday to him, my people. So I think y'all could give me a minute break for that. Y'all can understand it, my people. So I'll be right back, man. Let me go sing happy birthday to my little one, y'all. My peoples. My peoples. Y'all already know, man. I had to get that in, you know. Spend a little bit of quality time with my little one real quick. Again, y'all, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning, my peoples. So we was talking about Wardley, and you know the possibility of him beating Usyk. Honestly, my peoples, you know Wardley, he's a lot better than people give him credit for. I don't know if he could beat Juan Ocasio. Appreciate it, my brother. I don't know. I don't feel like anybody. I don't feel like anybody can beat Usyk, my people. I promise you. Jason Williams, your son will remember these moments. Oh, no doubt, my brother. I try to tell people, man, look, there's a lot of parents out there that they feel like being great with your son is giving them gifts. You know, buy them a toy car, send them on their merry way, and go party and go have a good time. And now the things that your kids are gonna appreciate the most is the time that you spend with them. They when they grow up, they're gonna remember if you was always busy, you was always at work, you was never there. That's gonna be a bigger memory than all the toys you can buy them and all the material things that you can give them. The bigger memory is gonna be, oh man, when I was having fun with these kids, my pops wasn't there. When I was playing ball, my pops wasn't there. When I was playing in the pool, my pops wasn't there. That's gonna be a bigger memory than all the things you can buy with money. So be there physically for your kids, my people. Um, but again, I don't see nobody beating Usyk. And by the way, I seen a post where they're saying Wardley is open to a rematch with Joseph Parker. So let's see. Maybe if the timing is not right or something, if it doesn't work out to make the fight with Usyk, maybe we see a rematch. Because we saw the type of slugfest that it was. And I promise you, if Parker and Wardley fight again, it'll be the same type of fight. The same type of fight. The Hydro Grind. Good morning, my peoples. Salute, my brother. Bam. So today we was talking about Tank Davis. That was the main topic of conversation. Superman, happy birthday to Ryan. Salute, my brother. We was talking about the situation with Tank Davis and I hope the Hydro Grind, because I've seen people celebrating that on social media. You know how I criticize Tank. But I hope you don't think that I was going to be one of those people that was going to be celebrating, you know, Tank Davis being in this situation or happy about it. The answer to that is no. I hope Tank Davis is able to get the help that he needs. He's going to get a bag right now. He's been talking about retirement. I don't know if he will or not. But I hope that he can get help and just change his life around so that he doesn't keep in these situations. So you know, those who are celebrating that he's going through a legal situation, that ain't it, my peoples. Never never celebrate a man's, you know, downfall or a man dealing with legal issues or a man. Nah. One thing is me criticizing Tank for not fighting this guy or not fighting that guy. That's one thing. And I'll do it. I'll say I don't like the fact that Tank didn't fight Roach. I don't like the fact that he ain't face Shakur, Tio, none of them. But that's boxing. That's what he's doing as an athlete that I'm criticizing. What he's dealing with is real life situations. That's not something that you want to see nobody going through. That's just the reality. Eric Gomes, in my opinion, money grab. I mean, Eric Gomes, as a tankomaniac, that's what I would expect you to say. That's what I would expect you to say. Money grab. But you're going to have something that is going to support you because it's a civil suit. A civil suit means that this young lady's not trying to actually arrest Tank Davis or get him locked up. She's gonna get money. If he's found liable, she's gonna get a big check. But the fact that she's gonna get a big check, Eric Gomes, doesn't mean that she's lying. That's the problem that you don't understand. There's models that they search for athletes and they'll put themselves in a situation. You don't know that there's chicks out there dying for somebody with millions to put hands on them. I'ma say funny things, smart things, threatening things, and all that, in the hopes that this millionaire puts some type of hands on me. Got him. Oh, you hear me? Bam, bam, bam. Pictures to the police station, and I'm gonna be a millionaire real soon. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case with this young lady. So let's not connect the two, right? All I'm saying is that if you got money and you put your hands on somebody, you're either gonna end up in jail or paying a lot of money. It's one of the two. If anything, he's lucky that it's a civil suit because he's not facing jail time. That's what's up. Braden Golson, I hope it's not true. And I know Fred Barbershop Confusion gonna do that. And I respect what you're saying. And I gotta say, man, look, anybody that knows me, anybody that been subscribed to the channel knows, I criticize Tank Davis all the time for his opponent selection. All the time. But this real life shit, man, how men is gonna celebrate another man's legal issues or another man's situation. That ain't nothing to celebrate about. That ain't nothing to laugh about. Somebody hit me up, yo, Jay, you saw what happened to Tank Davis? Ha, ha, ha. Huh? What you mean, ha, ha, ha? The nigga dealing with obviously he dealing with some type of mental health issues. That's affecting him. That's triggering him. And he need help. He need mental health assistance. And I think he even acknowledged it. He said, you know, he want to walk away from boxing, get that aggression off of him and all that. He talked about that. This ain't nothing to celebrate, my people. I gotta stop that shit. The Hydro Grind. Unfortunately, he goes through a lot of things. If it's true that he hits girls, he should go to jail ASAP. This is a new girl saying that. Yeah, the Hydro Grind, but this new girl is putting him through a civil suit. So there is jail time is not even an option here. They're gonna go through the process, and if he is found liable, she's gonna get a check. She's gonna get a nice amount of money. And that's it. But that's what I'm saying. If Tank Davis gets help, if he goes to therapy, there's a possibility that he may never be involved in this situation again. There's a possibility. But if he don't get help, guess what? It's only a matter of time before we see him in the news again. Oh, another chick. And you know there's gonna be people that say, oh, no. They just trying to get money. All these chicks are trying to get money. You know how many? Tank need help badly. And if he doesn't, I already told you guys, he's gonna end up in jail. He's gonna end up putting hands on a chick who is not gonna want money, is not gonna want nothing but follow the process, press charges, go to every single court date, testify, give a victim impact statement and all that, the whole 9 yards. And when that happens, it don't matter how good your lawyer is, it don't matter how much you deny it publicly, your ass gonna end up in jail. You're gonna go to jail. So you gotta either look for help or wait till the ticking time bomb explodes. Lou asked Mike Tyson, Braden Golson. Fred Barbershop Conversation. Juan Ocasio, Mike Tyson went to jail for rape, not hitting him. But I'm going to say this, Juan Ocasio, about the Mike Tyson situation. I want you to think about this. He went to a beauty pageant. In that beauty pageant, he saw a beautiful young lady who was invited to his hotel room like at 12 o'clock at night. Now Juan Ocasio You tell me what was in that young lady's mind when she went to the heavyweight champion of the world, who been staring her down like this, when she went to his hotel alone, knowing he was alone up there. What do you think she had in mind? And I'm just, and look, I'm not asking you in a sarcastic way or anything like that. I'm asking you out of honesty. When she went to see Mike Tyson, what did she have in mind? What do you think she had in mind? That we're gonna have a conversation? He's gonna offer me a job as his assistant. We're gonna pray together. What do you think she had in mind going there? Courtney Middlebrook, who do a live on someone that's an accusation. Blue Blood is one of the only who went live about this. Don't be a follower or a blogger saying he need all the help, not knowing it's true. Okay, so Courtney Middlebrook, if you want to give him the, I understand. Look, your comment suggests to me that you're a hardcore Tank Davis fan, right? And I would suggest to you, and you have to just accept it. Most people see a pattern. So while you sit there, while not knowing if it's true, I know you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, Courtney Middlebrook, but guess what? If somebody keep getting caught stealing, when they're alleged to have stolen, it's going to be hard to defend them. Like what you're trying to do right now. We don't know if it's true. When somebody keep getting arrested for selling drugs, if they one day get accused of selling drugs, it's going to be hard to defend them and say, we don't know if it's true, because that's what they've been getting arrested for. So how many situations, Courtney Middlebrook, is Tank Davis going to be involved in with a female saying this happened to me, and for you to sit there, well, we don't really know. We don't really know. You don't realize, Courtney Middlebrook, that your mindset is what enables Tank Davis to do what he does and be how he is. Because there's always going to be people like you. You could see a chick with a black eye. You could see a video of him dragging a chick across a basketball court. You could hear anything. And you're always going to find a way. Like Tank, like you got to be inside of the room with Tank Davis with him beating a chick for you to finally say, yeah, he doing that. But everybody's not like you, my guy. We see a pattern. We see everything that's happening. And he do need help. The funny thing, Courtney Middlebrook, about your comment is that Tank Davis himself said that he need help. Tank Davis himself said that he's going to retire from boxing because he needs to calm that aggression that he has. He himself said it. Now he's dealing with this legal situation, and you're sitting there talking about, well, we not knowing if it's true. It doesn't matter whether we know or not. He's still dealing with it, right? I ain't never had no chick accuse me of kidnapping her. I ain't never had no chick accuse me of battery. I ain't never had no chick accuse me of none of that. So, you know, I don't understand why you want to have that perspective, and you can, and innocent till proven guilty. That's facts. But when you keep landing in this situation, you ever heard the phrase, where there's smoke, there's fire? Courtney Middlebrook, you ever heard that phrase? Where there's smoke, there's fire? That's, you know, come on now. Breathe. Yup. Damn right. You so right. It's like the Tupac BS. People want to believe. Yo, and look, Juan Ocasio, I don't know nothing, Jay. I was just answering Lou. No, I get it, my G. But all I'm saying is, when that young lady went to Mike Tyson's hotel room at 12 o'clock at night, what exactly did she have in mind? Why would she go there? Because we're not talking about, you know, a teenager that doesn't know what's happening and was duped into going up there. You're going to get a gift. You're going to get a PlayStation 5. Oh, my gosh, she's a gamer. She went. No. We're talking about a young adult who Mike Tyson was checking her out, and then she got invited to his hotel